Vandaag ben jij de baby en ik de sugar daddy. Je weet toch nog niet overbetaalde pil. Jij krijgt alles wat je wil. Schat, laat maar niet op de prijs. Die bon is van mij. Zet die mooie in het ijs. Die bon is van mij. Je zegt me schat, geef eventjes je pas. Dan haal ik nog een rondje.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. On today's episode, we are doing The Mask in the Window. That's a new ghost stories. But here's a quick update. My friend and I finally got my book published, but here's a twist. It took us a couple of times to get my book on Amazon, but hey, it's gonna take about 72 hours to show up. So if you guys want to go on Amazon and buy it, be my guest. But it's gonna take 72 hours until it shows up. But all I have to do is just wait until it does. But anyway, I want to say thanks for tuning in. We are going to get started on the ghost story. This is Hanging with Anya. I'm your host, Anya Smith. So the new story is something about the mask in the window, like a haunted mask maybe. It's the object. It's probably cursed. Maybe someone cursed it before that person, I don't know, either passed away or whatever happened to it. So let's get started. Just sit back, relax, and listen to my ghost stories. Now let's get started. This is season 3, episode 34, The Mask in the Window. Clara hated storms, but what frightened her most was the pale face she saw pressed against her upstairs window. During one, its features were blurred, more like a mask than a man, but the intent gaze was unmistakable, heart pounding. She ran upstairs, but when she entered the room, it was empty. The window was locked from the inside. Trying to calm herself, she leaned closer and saw something that turned her blood cold. In the condensation clinging to the glass, the outline of a hand remained. Its fingers were spread wide, far larger than her own, as if whoever had pressed against the pane wanted to leave proof of their presence. Wow. That gives me chills. I hope you guys got the chills for this story. Now, let's go to questions. This story is a bit short, but Clara literally is afraid of storms. She hates storms. I can relate to that. I don't like storms at all either. So, question number 1. Why is a face at the window so chilling? Well, I'm guessing that I think maybe that face, the mask, I'm thinking it's looking for the person maybe. I don't know, but I'm guessing it's haunting the girl but frightening her to death. But apparently the person who had that mask for centuries is probably passed on but know that he's passed on, the mask is probably looking for its owner somehow. Thought maybe that owner might still be alive, but there is no body, apparently. The mask is probably cursed. The Phantom, that's what I'm thinking. Like, there's a movie called Phantom of the Opera. And somehow that person clearly just doesn't know what he or she is doing, but the mask is literally haunted, cursed. Maybe it's looking for something, or for the girl, I don't know. Maybe it chose the little girl, Clara. I don't know how old she is, but she's probably in her teenage years or in her early 20s, I don't know. But it's chilling because somehow it chose the girl. So, how do storms amplify fear? I'm guessing it knows every fear of a person. I've got fears, okay? If there's a storm going on right now, it probably knows what I'm afraid of. It knows I'm afraid of it. Like lightning, thunders, rain going even harder than that, like pouring all over the freaking place. The ice, like the hail. It's an ice, like frozen water turned into like a rock, but it can like hit the window and the window would be shattered into a bunch of pieces of windows, like shards, like very sharp ones. And it knows that I'm afraid of it. It knows what could happen if that storm becomes a lot worse. And Clara is pretty much afraid what could happen if she saw that mask leaning against the window, pressing it, see who's there, or see if the owner of the mask would be there. I mean, like, it could be an actual spirit of a man who wore the mask in the opera, maybe. I'm guessing the person who had the mask who burned half of his face or something. I don't know the person who had the mask, but I think maybe Clara needs to investigate it, what's going on, what's causing the storm to, I don't know, choose Clara. Maybe the face somehow, I don't know. The mask somehow knows, but it's like it has its own personality. I don't know. This is kind of strange, but yes. Was it a mask or a person? It could be both, but I think the mask is probably cursed. The person who had it doesn't know that he is dead. He's a ghost. The mask is probably cursed, and I think it is cursed. Somehow it might be both. I think it's both. Kind of like the movie called The Mask with the actor who actually wore it, Jim Carrey. That's who. He was in a movie called The Mask, okay, in 1994 with Cameron Diaz. In the movie, when he found the mask, when he put it on, it's like he is completely somebody else, doing a lot of weird stuff, like even the dog. It's so fucking hilarious. The movie called The Mask, which kind of almost based on this ghost story that I'm telling you about, that I just read to you guys. Jim Carrey, he literally put the mask and it's like it's taken over him, like his life or something, doing weird shit, like robbing the place or making weird shit, just being weird, trying to get the girl, maybe, I don't know. But this particular mask was controlled perhaps by a spirit, like of a man, maybe, who had the mask, maybe wore it in the opera. Maybe it's like a stage, maybe like a Broadway, whatever, in the past. Maybe in like sometime in the 1800s, maybe. But my guess is that it's both a mask and a person. Maybe a person that is wearing a mask. I haven't watched a movie called Phantom of the Opera only one time. I don't know if I watched it, but I think I have, but I don't even remember it. Here's the thing. I never actually watched the Phantom of the Opera movie. Like, literally. It's chilling, but I never watched it because I didn't know what it's actually about. So let's go to number 4. How can something leave a mark behind if it isn't physical? That's a good one. If it leaves a mark, it's like there's a spirit that's trying to warn somebody. And if that person who had the mask is leaving a mark, which is, it's a warning, trying to tell the girl something, it's a warning. It's like, seriously, it's maybe telling her to get out, or she might be next, or whatever. I don't know. But Clara clearly has no idea what's going on. I think she needs to get rid of the mask somehow. I don't know. Do a background check on that mask. See whoever owned that mask before her. Yeah, I think it's cursed. But if you leave the mark, if it's not physical, it's probably trying to figure it out how to contact the living. This is a good question. I'm not really sure, but I'm guessing it's a spirit who is trying to contact the living to warn her about something. It might be a good spirit or it might be a bad one. I am not clearly sure. So, what does looking in symbolize in ghost lore? Well, looking in as in, it's like a background check. It's an investigation. You have to get the evidence, take pictures, videos, whatever. This is what it is. It symbolizes something that spirits do often. They haunt the place. They look into the windows and see who's there or not. They're like trying to contact the living. But if I had the mask, if I put it on, it would clearly mess me up, leave me traumatized or something like that. It probably could happen, but yes. I don't have the mask. I'm so glad I don't, because I know it's haunted. I know it's cursed, but I wouldn't want to mess with all this stuff. I would clearly just stay away from that mask. Literally, stay away from it. Don't touch it. Don't mess with it. Don't do anything with it. It probably should be, I don't know, buried somewhere. I'm thinking like in somewhere in the woods. I would probably bury it, but don't mess with it. Leave it. If you find the grave of the person who had that mask, you have to like put it maybe on their grave, right next to the headstone, or like in front of it, or on the top of it. So just to make sure that spirit who had that mask never loses the mask. Don't touch it, don't mess with it, don't steal it, leave it alone. If I were you guys. But if it, I don't know, controls a living person's freaking mind, it would probably trying to tell the ghosts or like the girl to take the mask. Maybe it must have chosen her somehow. But if I were Clara, I would literally stay away from that thing. All right, let's go to number 6. Is fear worse when you see too much or not enough? It can be both. If I am afraid of something, like being controlled by something that you can't see, it could be worse. It could be something that you can't control of it. You have to somehow investigate a lot more. You have to go deeper and deeper to investigate and see what it is. If you want to leave it alone, leave it alone. If you want to investigate even further, do it. Just be careful. If I were you, people, I would literally just stay away from the mask. And fear is part of your survival. Use it. I mean, you also have to be very brave. I'm very brave. Sometimes I'm scared, but that's just how my survival is. So, why might the ghost leave proof rather than vanish cleanly? I think the spirits leave their marks because they want to let the living know that he or she was there, that it was a proof it actually happened. It's like the spirit might be reliving his or her death, like reliving on that time. Maybe it's a time loop. It's leaving its mark because it's a warning, and they're trying to tell the living that they were there, what happened to them. They are showing them the past, what happened to them, how it all started. The girl was chosen by that thing because it wants her to know who it belongs to, and it's telling her what really happened in the past, in the storm, like maybe in some kind of castle or whatever, the mansion maybe she lives in, maybe that's where it happened. She would have to go to investigate it. She has to go deeper and deeper for that. So we have one more and I will sign off. Would you stay in that house another night? If I wanted to go investigate and stay overnight to prove my craziness, I would probably, if I want to investigate it. If I'm too scared to go in to that house, I would probably stay away, but I'll have to be very brave to stay overnight in that house, especially in a mansion, like in a castle back in a few hundred years ago, maybe in the 1700s. I don't know how the mask can survive thousands of years in the past. I probably would stay. Would you guys want to stay? I would stay and investigate. Literally. If it was me and my husband, we probably would. But if we're too afraid to go any further, we would want to go somewhere that's safer and try to forget, but I would want to stay in a house and investigate it. If I were Clara, I would want to investigate this, but it would take a while to figure it out, take pictures, trying to get the videos maybe, but I probably would. So anyway, that's all the time we have for today. So thank you for tuning in. This is all we have for tonight. So next week we will be doing The Clock That Wouldn't Stop, which is the new story for next week. So please click like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you next week on episode 35, The Clock That Wouldn't Stop. We'll have to figure it out, that sort of part. So have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next week. Please tune in on YouTube, Hanging with Anya. I'm your host, Anya Smith. So we'll see you next week for more ghost stories. And yes, my book has been published. It's been written. It's been approved. Let's just wait till it's going to be on Amazon. It takes like 3 days. I can't tell you any more information, but please check it out on Amazon. But it will. So anyway, have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next week. Hanging with Anya. I'm your host, Anya Smith. Please click like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next Tuesday in the afternoon. And stay safe, stay spooky. Have a wonderful night. Goodbye.
Vanavond ben jij de